Hey our geeks, welcome to another video. So today we will be discussing about pH and the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. This equation is basically used to find the pH of a buffer. Okay, so if you are into CSIR net and if you want to know how to solve these questions, these types of sums, I have made two previous videos on this. You would like to check it out, then please check the description, or I'll link it up here in the I button so that you can go and get those concepts clear as well. I've spoken about thermodynamics in that video. Now, in this video, let us start with using our formulae. So first formula that you need to know is that pH is nothing but the negative log of H plus ions. So negative log to the base 10 of the concentration of H plus ions is pH. What is POH then? So POH is a negative log to the base 10 OH minus ion concentration. So this is pH and POH. Now what is the relationship between pH and POH? Relationship is that pH plus POH is equal to 14. Okay, this is something you need to remember. Now, to calculate the pH of buffer, that is by Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, the equation is that pH is equal to pKa plus log of salt upon acid. Okay, sometimes it is represented as A minus upon HA. Okay, so this H plus will get released, so it is an acid, and A minus is the salt portion. Okay, so sometimes it is given like this as well. It means the same thing only. Okay, this is for pH. For POH of the buffer, the equation will be pKb plus log to the base 10 salt upon base. Now, what is this pKa and pKb? So basically, they are nothing but pKa is log to the base 10 Ka. Okay, pKa is equal to negative log to the base 10 Ka. Sometimes they may directly give you the pKa value, sometimes they may give you Ka, and then you have to find pKa from it. pKb is similar, so pKb is nothing but minus log to the base 10 of Kb. So this is nothing but the HH equation, Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, to calculate the pH or the POH of a buffer. So this is all you need to know. These are the required formulas to try and solve these kind of questions. So now let's get right into it. So the first question is the OH minus ion concentration of 0.1 normal HCl. Solution is dash. So basically what is given over here, you have 0.1 normal HCl solution and they are asking you to find OH minus. Now 0.1 normal is nothing but the concentration of this H plus ions, because HCl is going to get dissociated into H plus and Cl minus. So 0.1 is nothing but your concentration of H plus ions, right? Now, if you have H plus ion concentration, what can you get? You can get the pH. Why? Because pH is equal to negative logarithm of H plus ions, right? Now, your H plus ion is nothing but 0.1. Now, 0.1 is nothing but 10 raised to minus 1. So according to the log calculation, this will come ahead. So it will be minus of minus 1 into log 10 to the base 10. So this is 1. Therefore, what is the pH of this solution? The pH of this solution is 1. Knowing the pH is not enough because you need to know the OH minus. For OH minus, what you need? POH. POH is equal to negative log to the base 10 of OH minus ion concentration. You had H plus. From H plus, you found pH. But now to calculate this, what you require? POH. So from pH, how to get POH? Yes, simply the relation pH plus POH equal to 14. So therefore, POH will be 14 minus the pH, that is 1. So the POH of this solution is 13. Now just substitute 13 over here. So 13 equal to negative log to the base 10 OH minus ions. So therefore, what is the OH minus ion concentration? OH minus ion is equal to minus 13. Now this has a base 10. So when this is shifted to that side, the OH minus ion concentration will be 10 raised to minus 13. So this is 10 raised to minus 13. Now see the unit, it is molar and here it is normal. But we are very well aware that point normality and molarity for the HCl is the same because it releases only one H plus. So therefore the unit molarity will also do. So therefore the answer is option B, 10 raised to minus 13 molar. Going to the next one. So what is the next question? They are asking you which of the following statements is true. First one, the specific rotation of enantiomers will be identical. Now, this is an incorrect statement. What are enantiomers? Basically, they are non-superimposable mirror images that basically have optical activity. So enantiomer is something that rotates, one of the isomer rotates light in the right side called as the dextrorotatory or the plus, and the other one rotates it to the left, that is levorotatory or minus. Now, the value of specific rotation is the same, but the sign is different. So if this is 30 degrees, so this is plus 30. This one is minus 30 degrees. So the specific rotation is not identical. Numerically, they are identical, but the signs are different. Okay. Next is the rate constant of a first order reaction has only time but no concentration units. This is very true. The rate constant K for the first order reaction has units of time inverse. So this is a true statement. The value of pH plus pOH depends on temperature. Now here is a slight difference in point. See, if they say pH and pOH or either of them, they depend on temperature, that is exactly true. Okay, one of them definitely, if we see individually, it depends on the temperature. How? Because when you increase the temperature, the more and more ions will be dissociated, and therefore there can be a change in the pH and pOH. But here in the question, they are saying pH plus pOH. Now we know that the addition of both is equal to 14 always. So irrespective of the temperature, it should be equal to 14. So therefore, I feel that the statement is true. However, at many places, it is given false. But when would it be, it is given, so I feel it is false, but it is given at places true. And a major reason they must have given is if you take them individually, then definitely this statement is true that pH or the pOH of the solution depend on temperature. But since they have said here pH plus pOH equal to 14, I would say that actually that's a constant value, so it shouldn't depend on temperature. The last statement is the bond dissociation energy of C single bond will be greater than C double bond, which is incorrect. You have a double bond, so you will require more energy to break the bond. Next question. So the question says the pH of blood of a healthy person is maintained at 7.40. Assuming pH is maintained entirely by the bicarbonate buffer having a pKa of 6.1, the molar ratio of bicarbonate to carbonic acid. So your hint over here is this statement, pH and buffer. So yes, definitely what we have to apply is the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So the equation is pH is equal to pKa plus log to the base 10. You will say salt upon acid. So bicarbonate is what actually? Bicarbonate. Yes, HCO3 minus. And what is this? CO3 2 minus. So this is nothing but our salt upon acid funda, right? So therefore, this will be the ratio of bicarbonate is to carbonate. So bicarbonate is to carbonic acid. And here they have given you a hint also, na, it's carbonic acid. So salt upon acid. So this is your acid half. Now, To find this, I'll just in short write by and C only. And this is equal to pH minus pKa. So the pH is given as 7.4 and pKa is given as 6.1. So minus 6.1, that comes out to be how much? This is 3 and this is 1. So 1.3, you have to basically find out now the anti-log. So to find the ratio of bicarbonate is to carbonate, you have to find anti-log of 1.3, and anti-log of 1.3 is nothing but come out to be 20. So what is the ratio? It is nothing but 20:1. That is option D. Very easy question, right? Okay, let's do a similar one then. Now the similar one says the pH of the fluid is 7.45, where again bicarbonate buffer is involved. The values of carbonic acid, pKa of carbonic acid is given 6.1 and 10.5. The molar ratio of conjugate base is to acid. Again, same thing. pH is equal to pKa plus log of A minus upon HA. Pause the video and try to solve it on your own to see if you get the right answer. I will solve it right away. So therefore, to find the log of A minus, that is the conjugate base, is to acid, the thing will be pH minus pKa. So pH is 7.45 and pKa is 6.15. So that comes out to be how much? 1.3. So finding the ratio means taking an anti-log of 1.3, which they have directly given you. Anti-log of 1.3 is nothing but 20. So therefore, this is your easiest answer, right? So this is as simple as it gets. Okay, so if you have gotten this correct, well and good. The ratio is 20:1. Chalo. Now another type of question from this section. So the question says 10 ml of 0.1 molar sodium acetate. Just remember sodium acetate, what is it? CS3COONA. It has a volume of 100 ml and molarity is 0.1 molar. It has a pH of 8.9. To this solution, they have added 1000 ml of 1 molar acetic acid, that is CS3COOH, that is having a pKa of 4.76 pKa. The pH of this mixture is dash. So again, it's a mixture having a salt, right, and an acid. So what you will use? Henderson-Hasselbalch. So pH equal to pKa plus log of, it is salt upon acid, right? So here what is my salt? CS3COONA. And what is the acid part? CS3COOH. They have asked you to find the pH. So pKa value directly given 4.76, right? Plus log to the base 10 CS3COONA. Now what is basically the concentration of this part? So here you have 100 ml, so that is 10⁻², into the concentration, that is 0.1. 0.1 means 10⁻⁻1. Okay, divided by, this is 100 ml, 1000 ml, so 10⁻³ into 1 molar. So this comes out to be, this is 10⁻1 and this is 10⁻3, which goes up, so it will become 10⁻². So this is log of 10⁻² plus 4.76. Now this -2 comes ahead, so it will become -2, 4.76 minus 2, which comes out to be 2.76, which is very close to 2.8. 3 is not in the option, 2.8 is. So this is the correct option, option C, right? And let us move to the next one. So here they say 10 millimolar acetate buffer having a pH of 4 is diluted 1 million times, with distilled water having a pH of 7. Then the pH of this diluted buffer is dash. So again, pH of the buffer. We need pKa. Have they given you pKa? No. So then you need to rethink about the sum. What are they saying? 10 millimolar of acetate buffer is diluted. Okay. So same thing, you are diluted with distilled water. Now what is the pH? So one thing where you have to remember, whenever a buffer is diluted, actually the Ka, that is the dissociation constant of acid, or for that matter the Kb, dissociation constant of a base, if it is a basic buffer, they are not changed at all. So dilution doesn't affect these concentrations, and it also does not affect the ratio of the salt is to acid or salt is to base. So if it doesn't affect any of this, then definitely pH doesn't change when you dilute a buffer. So remember this very clearly, that even if you dilute a buffer, there is no change in the pH of the solution. So initially, how much they had given you the pH of the buffer? 4. So that's going to remain even now. So the pH of the buffer will still remain to be 4, even if it is diluted. So with this, we come to the end of this section that is based on pH and pOH, the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation to calculate pH of buffer. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and in the next video, we will be learning about the sums based on kinetics. So please stay tuned to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.